In a recent trip to Tasmania, I used my 11-year-old Osprey Xenith 88 backpack, and I was so impressed again with the performance of the pack that I decided to make this short review video. So the Xenith 88 is a large volume, large capacity backpack, and definitely to be used either when you're carrying a lot of equipment or for multi-day treks. And that's why I've been using it for multi-day treks. So I purchased it about 11 years ago, also for some trekkings in Tasmania and New Zealand, and I always have been very much impressed and loving this pack. I believe it comes in 3 sizes: small, medium, large. Back then I bought the large, but the large is, I believe, a 90-liter volume. Let's have a look at the things I really like about this pack. Now, first is maybe the color. I really like the color. It's a little bit stealthy, if you like. Let me start with the big plus, and that is the harness. The comfort of carrying this pack with a heavier load is exceptional. I really enjoyed it, and that's again one of the reasons that prompted me of doing this review video. While I was carrying 21 to 22 kilograms on the first day in Tasmania, I was again surprised, or maybe reminded, if you like, how comfortable it is to carry this pack with a heavier weight. Second point is how it is organized. So many pockets. I have no other pack that has so many options to put things away. If I lift it a bit, so the belt, the hip belt, has these 2 pockets, and they a good size, the right size, I would say. Snacks fit in there, mobile phone if you need it, maybe some spare batteries, whatever, but it has a lot of space and easy accessible. Then there are these absolutely awesome side pockets. This is a 1.5 liter bottle, and you can see it fits completely in there. A 2 liter bottle goes in there as well. And there is access from the side, so you could grab the bottle from the side while you are on the trails if you don't want to stop. Now let's continue with the pockets and the organization. You have this really handy front pocket. Again, easy access to things. I often use it to put maybe my raincoat in here, or maybe a snack. Then you got 2 of these side pockets, again extremely handy, and look how big they are. And here, after 11 years of use, it almost looks like new. I put normally my PLB in here, my first aid kit, anything that I need maybe urgently when weather changes, maybe a jumper. And you got 2 top pockets. Again, they generous in size. Really nice. And a smaller one on top. And again, after 11 years, the inner side of the fabric still looks quite good. You can attach some ice tools, for instance, ice axes. Skis can be attached as well. Trekking poles, a little bit harder, but can be done. Let's inspect the fabric. Obviously, you can tell it has some wear and tear and some abrasions, specifically in the corner and on the smaller side pockets. A few holes in the fabric here as well, but that is all from rock scrambling and hauling the pack and lowering the pack over rock. Yeah, each scratch and hole tells a story. There's an adventure behind it, and I vividly remember what causes this hole, for instance, and the scratches on the other side. This was actually from the Arthurs crossing, the Western Arthurs in Tasmania. I had to hold the pack and it got stuck on something, and I pulled a little bit too hard. And similar, these abrasions, that was from holding the pack in the Budawang National Park. But otherwise, it's quite proven to be a durable fabric. Maybe something else to point out here, the waterproofing, basically the coating that they put on the zipper, that's pretty much gone. It all peeled off. But yeah, the fabric is not waterproof at all. The individual fibers obviously are waterproof. It's a nylon fiber, but the space in between fibers is not, so water gets through it that way. I will show you how I actually make a bag waterproof, at least how I protect the content from rain. That is using a liner like this. So I bought this in New Zealand and it's very popular in New Zealand. They come in two sizes. I think the yellow one that I have is smaller, and there is an orange version that is, I believe, bigger. The reason why that is big as it is, obviously it will suit pretty much every backpack, but you can also use it as an emergency shelter if needed. Like a BV if you like. Obviously it doesn't breathe, so you can't close it completely. But to continue the inspection, I'm quite surprised. Look how perfect the back looks like. No obvious signs of anywhere. The hip belts either. And I've used this bag a lot. So from the 11 years that I have this bag, for 8 years I have been using it. And I must have done at least 24 of trips with this bag, multi-day trips, and maybe another dozen or so overnighters. Looks almost like new. Now let's have a look then how the bag looks like from the inside. Feel how the zippers, how smooth they go after all those years. Pretty good. The YKK zippers. Let's have a look at the main compartment. Now there are two things I want to call out that I personally don't like, or at least don't use. The bag comes with a sleeping bag compartment. I never use this compartment separately. I never access it through this zipper, and I never will. And a little bit similarly, there are zippers on either side over the length of the backpack, so you can actually access the content this way. And again, I never used it. This is actually the first time I actually opened this. Never had a need for it. I think if you travel it might be easy, but nah, I don't see a purpose of it. I prefer that they make just one compartment, make the pack a little bit lighter as well, because you don't need the zippers obviously. But again, it gives a bit of an insight in the pack. You can see the fabric still looks very good. I definitely get another 10 years of use out of this pack. In terms of the adjustments, nothing special about this bag. Obviously you got a good size sternum strap. It has these angel straps to pull the top of the pack a little bit more over your upper back. It has these shoulder straps, and you got your waist belt or hip belt. Well guys, that's all I had to share with you. So the main reason for making this video is actually because I was really impressed a few weeks ago when I used it after a couple of years of using different bags. I was impressed how comfortable it was, carrying 21 plus kilograms of load, and just in generally I like the looks of it, and I like the organization. Many pockets, the big sleeves on the side are extremely handy for water bottles. Yeah, like it a lot. I hope you did so as well, and I hope to see you next time. Ciao.